What is toxic positivity?
Well, I have run into that on more than one occasion, and I actually had somebody who did some work for me, and he was working for an organization, and he said the organization, and he said the phrase, is just filled with toxic positivity. And I said, wow, what a delicious phrase. I'm not going to name him or the organization, but I said, what a delicious phrase. Tell me more. And he says, well, every time I bring up a problem, they say, yeah, we'll get to that. But you know, you're so good. And he'd say, yeah, what about this? I need this support. Yeah, we'll get to that. But you're so good. And it was like every response was, yeah, but you're so good and blah, blah, blah. They ended up, it was toxic because everything was so positive and they put a happy face on it. Everything had a happy smiley face on it, when in fact, they weren't solving any real problems. The problems at the core that this employee was trying to deal with in terms of doing his job better, literally, for the organization. He ended up leaving that organization. I know another organization I was working with, a nonprofit, where highly skilled artists decided to leave an organization because the organization was ripe with everything is wonderful, and it wasn't so wonderful. And instead of honestly and robustly dealing with underlying issues or concerns, it became untenable for them to work. And at the core, interestingly enough, in both of these cases, the core, it seems like counterintuitive. In both the cases that I'm concerned with, it was a lack of respect. You don't respect me enough to deal with a real problem I'm bringing to you, and I need your help on. You don't respect me enough to tell me the truth. And so it is dealing with human beings. So, you know, we oftentimes think of toxic leadership as somebody's negative and demanding and those types of things. I have a good friend of mine who's an expert in toxic leadership, and he wrote his articles and did his research in the military, and you got to do it this way, or I'll fire you, or whatever, and I'll demote you, or whatever. But on the flip side, there's toxic positivity, which has exactly the same effect in debilitating the organization and causing good people to leave.
The research shows, and we've studied this and others have as well, that successful organizations are able to identify the good things that are going on and the things that aren't going well all of the time. And the things that aren't going well, another word for that is the problems. So let's identify what the problems are and surface them honestly, so smart people can work on them and solve them collaboratively. Because if everything is great and you bury the problems, you'll never improve.